We'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a motion and second, discussion? Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. That's unanimous. Are you on, ma'am? Okay, are you representing the Pickens County Progress?
yes, sir.
Well, I don't think we've met, that I can recall. So since we do have the press, Jim, and since we are having a meeting on Friday evening at 6 o'clock, to some standards would seem to be a little odd. Would you explain to the press why it's necessary that we meet at 6 o'clock on Friday, or on Friday? I guess we could have met any time.
Well, the reason we are meeting tonight is to discuss the potential of announcing a finalist candidate for the position of city manager, Jasper City Manager. The reason it's on a Friday night is real simple. Had to be posted in the newspaper, and this was the first night available according to with the schedule that the newspaper was running during the holidays. So tonight is a number of days that after the paper came out.
I mean, why could we not have the meeting on a Monday in January? Explain a little bit of what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, what we're trying to accomplish is announce a candidate, the finalist candidate. It's announced tonight. After that, there is a 14-day comment period, which really has nothing to do with us meeting on a Friday night, but that's where we will go after the candidate is potentially announced tonight, after a vote.
Okay, so, and what we're going to do tonight is that we're going to go into closed session, first thing, and we're going to discuss what you have found out from your interview.
Right.
And then we're going to come out of closed session, and what are we're going to reveal to the press?
Then we'll have to have a public vote, and then we will announce the candidate to the press, and if the way be clear, maybe he'll be available to discuss his candidacy.
Okay.
All right?
So why I wanted all that explained to you is because we want to ask for a motion to go into closed session, and we'll have to ask you after all this time on Friday evening for you to step out in the lobby until we call you back in. Would entertain a motion to enter executive session?
So
Got a motion?
second.
Motion second, discussion. Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to come out of the executive session.
Motion come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. Being none, all in favor, vote by show of hands. It's unanimous. Jim? We're out of closed session.
Motion for consideration to announce the candidate finalist for the Jasper City Manager position.
Okay, now, this is a finalist.
This
Now,
is our
we're not-
final.
We're not making, explain, we're not
This
making
is our
appointment.
final-
The appointment is not going to be denied. Explain kind of what you explained to me a while ago.
Right. What council's been making a motion on is having a final candidate for the Jasper City Manager position. Now, there will be a 14-day period for public comment. During that 14-day period, we will be finalizing an employment contract with the candidate, and it will be available at that time.
Okay, the public comments would be, give us an example of a public comment.
Public
Will
comments.
they notify you, or will they just scream on the courthouse lawn?
Public comments should be made in writing I'm going to say to the clerk of the city, who would present them to me for answers.
There won't
Fair enough.
There won't be a public hearing until we meet again, the date of the decision by council as to when.
Nothing planned. When the candidate is voted on, have discussions with the candidate about potentially having a time when he would be available for questions from the public, make further comments to the public.
Okay, with that, do we need council to vote tonight as to who their final candidate is?
I would ask council to make a vote tonight on the candidate finalist.
Would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'd like to have a motion as to who it is and what, for the record, what's your motion?
I'll make the motion that we have Brandon as the final.
Brandon who?
Douglas. And as our final candidate for city manager.
Okay, get a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion. Jim, would you explain a little bit during discussion who Brandon is now and where he's from? And introduce him?
Do we need to vote on
No, we're gonna do it after this discussion.
All right. Final candidate has been, will soon be voted on is Brandon Douglas. Brandon is a assistant city manager in Ackworth. Been there 12 years, I believe, and comes to the city of Jasper with a lot of experience. Has been a resident of Jasper for a short period. And after the vote, I'll present a biography that Brandon prepared. And Brandon, if you would come up here and let me introduce you. And you can introduce your family.
Okay. Thank you.
Brandon, congratulations. Let you, any comments you might want to make?
Just excited to be here. Don't want to be too presumptuous. I know there's still a final vote, Mr. Mayor, Council. But I would like to take the opportunity to just introduce you to my wife, Crystal, my daughter, Addison. Excited as well, so I'll be around for a little bit. So thank you all.
that? Thank you.
Don't break it.
I'm an old man, I'm a little slow.
I'm not photogenic. Thank you.
Better you than me.
Being no other discussion, all in favor, vote by show of hands. That's unanimous. With that, you said you had something else to add, Jim.
I will present biographies to the press and anyone interested after the meeting closes.
Okay. Being no other business to come before this council, would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.